Riddle me this, riddle me that. Do you feel like a rat? Do you feel like you're in a maze? Maybe it's time to get your spirit raised, your spirit strong. The Alpough Show, the human spirit experiment. It won't take long.
My name is Fred. My thoughts went dead. My mind just went. This is the human spirit experiment.
And welcome to Alpough. Welcome to the Late Show, the Human Spirit Experiment. Thank you for all those who are coming in now and who are coming in later. I really appreciate you. Earlier we had on Hit Her Root, and we talked about relationships, and that was on earlier today. So if you want to check out my channel, we go into a lot of things, do a lot of TikTok videos, and I get her to respond here. So we start off with children laugh 400 times a day, an average adult laughs 15 times a day. Somewhere on the way, we have lost 385 laughs a day. And it's always my wish that we all get past that 15 laugh a day. And it is getting harder. I find myself counting them, even a smile is a laughter. Okay, so we'll just look at that. Before we get started, please subscribe to my channel and press that bell. It would be greatly appreciated so you'll get notified for all this important information that I want to share with you so that we can grow. Now today, we're going to be talking about, do politicians care about us in 2022? And I guess there is a proper answer for that. This is the man who's been leading us, but I think the bottom line is he's been tripping the whole way, and so we have a decision to make. This isn't just about Biden. This is about the whole government experience. That if we really look at over the last 30 or 40 years, it just doesn't seem like they give a rat's damn for us. So what do we do? Well, it's time to take our head out of the sand, okay? Because it can be frustrating and it makes you want to just hide. But now, we've got to be brave. That's where it feels like is we are walking on a tightrope. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is the Matrix is really an allegory of the current extremely anti-human socio-economic system where the majority doesn't even know he is born to be a slave into debt and interest, and where the machines are a symbol for the unfeeling psychopaths who made and run this system, where they want us not hearing anything, not seeing anything, not speaking anything, but sticking our brains with some goggles on. And so where are we at? Do politicians care about us in 2022? Yes or no? Yes or no? Well, just last week, they voted down the small business bill of $48 billion to help Americans. What have they done here lately to help us except veto the bills that could? Now, this was on the same day where 2 hours earlier, they passed the bill giving Ukraine $40 billion, up from $33 billion to a total of $53 billion total. Now, however you want, you feel about Ukraine, you feel about Russia, that is your issue. Mine is right here. Right here. How much do you think you spend on a border to protect all our borders? About, 15 million? And then he just gave them 40 billion, 53 billion total. Have you heard anything? Let's talk about inflation. Inflation has gone up. If you go into, you see the cars have gone up. You see food has gone up. You see gas and diesel are at an all-time high. This has been going on since the moment that the come on man came in. Can't help us. Hasn't done anything except talk. When it comes to identifying us, he had a meeting with Jerome Powell today. If you don't know who that is, he is the head of the Federal Reserve Banks, the one that runs you and me. And of course, this happens with every president. If you're old enough to see the absolute ridiculousness of really what's going on. See, Alan Greenspan, who was one of the Fed chairmen, came right out and said it. He was in Congress and they asked him, "Do you have? Are you bound by anyone in Congress?" No, we make our own rules. And so they're going to raise the interest rates. I've talked about this before. The interest rates could be another 3 points on top of the 3.5 it is now, 7.1 it is. It could be by the end of the year. That does not include, this is just for mortgages. So if you could be coming in here by the time this year's over at 8%. 8%. Now that is just really an educated guess because they're changing all the time. They're raising the interest rate another 0.5 point in June, another 0.5 point in July, another 0.5 point in October, another 0.5 point in November, and they've already raised it in April and May. Okay, and so that's so far. So everyone was waiting for Biden to come out and say, "Hey, how did it go with Jerome Powell?" And his quote basically was, "I'm just going to let them do their thing. They know what they're doing." And that's what every president since the Federal Reserve, a private bank, brought in on the Woodrow Wilson during his regime. And so you don't really know. Now they're planning on raising it like 20 times here in the next, 2-3 years. Absolutely. Check it out. They said that we're not going to get rid of inflation for years. For years. So if we're already at gas and diesel is at an all-time high now, what's it going to be? Ships, the cargo ships are still setting out in the ocean. You know that Shanghai's been locked down. Do you know how many? That's one of the most industrial places where we get a lot of our stuff. Ships are just sitting out there. They haven't even made their way here. So there's going to be shortages. And one could be a food shortage coming. They've been predicting it. Now, here in the United States, first of all, food and gas are not figured out in inflation, right? And you know why? There's a real reason for it, guys. Because see, once a year, every year, right now it's 8.3% inflation. Okay, so here we're at 8.3 inflation. We're in June. It's June 1st. Okay, so now is it end of October? Okay, so at the end of October, 1st of November, they're going to figure out the what the COLA is, and And so that decides on whether or not what's the raise in Social Security, disability, military pensions, so forth and so on what their COLA raise is going to be. Now, last year, it was one of the highest it's ever been, which was 6%. So everyone that was making, let's just say $1,000 for Social Security, got an extra $60 for this coming year. Now, the last thing they want, so right now at 8.3%, if you are making $1,000, you will get $80 more a year. That's about $1,000 more a year. Now, what if you had to take into consideration gas and food? It would raise inflation up extremely high, and they do not want to pay that. Okay. So if you've been to the grocery store, like almost all of us, you can look it up and see that there's a lot of things that's been doubled, right? And, 10, 15, 25%. I know that I buy coconut oil, it's gone up almost 50%. So we do have the possibility of a future food shortage. Now, what I think is that in the United States, we might miss the food shortage, not miss it all the way. But what will happen is, because we're such a powerful country, that we will get stuff, but it's going to be extremely high. Now, if you're not putting away some stuff, you're way behind already. They're saying that we have about 10 weeks before we're going to really feel it. That's around August. And if you're not, putting aside some extra rice, beans, things like oil, seasoning, all right, beans, vegetables, anything's possible here. And if you have a family, if you're by yourself, let's see about this. Okay. They locked down China. Pretty easy. They locked down Australia. Easy peasy. Locked down New Zealand. Pretty easy. What did all three of them have in common? They had no guns. They had their guns taken away from them. Okay? So they lock them. It's easier to lock them down. Okay? I'm jumping ahead of myself here. I'll get to that in just a second here. Baby formula shortage. How does the United States have a baby shortage formula? Well, I think only about 3 manufacturing companies make it. I think Nestle's is one of them. But one plant got blown down or something, and it caused the shortages. Now, again, we come down to the lockdowns here around the rest of the world, and we're having problems getting parts for machinery. This is all coming. Okay? I had a friend of mine who has a construction company who he was ordering windows. It was taking him 14 weeks to make the windows. So he gets a job which they expect you to do it immediately. No. You can't get parts. Next is censorship is at an all-time high. It's like there are this few agenda. Okay? This minority agenda is screaming the loudest. And now it seems that the families, people, the good ones, the ones who love their country, the ones who love their family, they're the ones who are busy taking care of their families. Meanwhile, these single people out there screaming who don't have anything to do with their own life, they have time to scream. And that's another thing, is the screaming. So just because Elon Musk bought Twitter, that's a small cog in the wheel, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and they could easily take him off the internet. Who owns the internet? Got a guess? Apple and Amazon. They own the internet. They own it. Look it up. This is a big one here because, again, they want to take our guns. And you'll see it. If you see me Uvalde, what's going on there? I did a show on it, but I'm going to do an update. I'm telling you, it's a mess. It's a mess. Nothing is what it seems. It seems like the police have lied and they're covering up. It's so funny. They just got all this money and all this equipment. You see that? All this police equipment y'all got. What? It's just absolutely ridiculous. Now, you see, if you don't think that we're not the leaders of the world, all you got to do is look up towards Canada. And what dictator Trudeau decided to do from what happened in Uvalde. Check this out. This is from Tucker, by the way.
That the vast majority of gun owners use them safely and in accordance with the law. But other than using fire knives, that the vast majority of gun owners use them safely and in accordance with the law. But other than using firearms for sport shooting and hunting, there is no reason anyone in Canada should need guns in their everyday lives. It will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada, and will require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. You can have all the fentanyl you want, but you can't defend yourself.
Is that a truth? Speak it, Tuck. You can get all the fentanyl you want. You can allow all the fentanyl into the country. You know, over 100,000 people died of overdoses on fentanyl last year alone. Why don't they mention that in the news? Why isn't anybody talking about it? It just doesn't absolutely make any sense. So now who's next? Who's next? They want to take away handguns here, the 9mm bullet. Are you kidding me? I live in Arizona. And, you know, here, people don't want to give up their guns. Now, I don't know how it is in other places. This is one of the reasons why I moved to Arizona. Now, could it change? Yes. Yes, it could change. Let's just keep moving here. They want to take our children. Oh, gosh, I wish I should have got that clip. How Kamala Harris says, our children are community children. We all know they're community children. No, they're not. They're not community children. First and foremost, they are the children of their parents. Community is next. People can move in and out of a community, but you don't leave your children in a community. That's a joke. To even say that you're community children, okay? That whole, it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a family to raise a child. And whatever the community can do, then that's extra gravy. This is serious about taking our children. This is serious about making it legal that you're a newborn child that now they classify as a parasite till it gets out. And even then, they want to pass a law that even after the child is born. See, to me, it's a child in the womb. I don't care what you say. It is. I was a child. In other countries, you count the moment you're born in your years. I had a guy in India who said that to me, that your 9 months is tacked on in your age. So they want the child born, they want to call him a baby. A baby. You can look in plain sight and see it's a boy or a girl, having been delivered by a woman. And yet they want to wait for the child to be 4 years old before they make a decision on what they want to be. This is, on the spiritual sense, is just the absolute insult to the Creator, Mother, the Mother Creator, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother of us, Sophia. This is an insult to destroy what was given to you and change. Listen, I know the signal now is bottom surgery. We need to talk. I'm from the health field, and when you open up anyone, any doctor will tell you, once you open up the skin, do any kind of operation, your body's never the same. You're always going to have medical issues usually, and this is what it's been proven also. Boy, I'm going longer than I thought I was going to go. So deep down, they just want to take our freedom. They want to take our freedom. They want to take the First and the Second Amendment away from us. But they want to take away our freedom, our First Amendment rights to just speak. And heck, I might be thrown, I've had my videos censored and everything already. I've appealed. Sometimes I get back on. Other times I wasn't able to get back on my show because I talked about the pain, So that's the bottom line here. They take away our freedom of speech. If you go and look at these other places, let me go and finish this one thing and we'll get to this. Back to this. They want to also replace us with robots. Tucker says, hey, they want to pass a law we can only put so many robots with so many humans. I'm sorry, Tucker. That's not going to happen. Capitalistic corporations they're about profit. And if that means they replace Johnny Ronnie with a robot, they will do that because they are the owners of that. Okay. You just watch. Y'all love Elon Musk? Watch Elon Musk replace all his people with robots in his plant. Oh, it's a coming, baby. It's a coming. All they need is a pandemic, another pandemic where nobody can come into work. And they still need to do the production. And he is building robots. Make no mistake, Elon Musk. Those who trust Elon Musk, I have no idea. I have no idea. Because you're not looking into the cracks. Okay? He's a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. All these guys are smart. And you got to give it up to them. You got to respect what they're doing. That's the only way you're going to be able to get resolved through this. The ones who are smart here, who are putting away food, okay, who are getting rid of your excess, getting rid of your debt. Debt is going to be huge. If inflation keeps going up and you're still in massive debt, how are you going to be able to survive? If you have massive debt, so whatever you do, Get out of debt. Whatever it takes, get out of debt. They're not giving us another stimulus check. We're going to be lucky if they give a credit tax. Now remember, all you college students, who think you should get, your college loans, forgiven. Okay. So if y'all, it's $250 billion of more debt that gets added to the people. So if you get you out of your loans, it just gets added. And then your children will be paying it. That's right. Your children will be paying it. Now, outsiders are running us. Now, it doesn't matter if, Trump gets reelected. By the time Trump gets to run, if you think he's going to be the savior, this world is going to be locked down. Locked down. The World Economic Forum, the ones who say you'll own nothing. Where is it? I think I took it off. You'll own nothing and be happy. You'll own nothing. You won't own a car. You won't have to work. You'll be in where we call it, where do they want us? Okay, so they want us here. Where is that? Here's where they want us. They want goggles on us all day long. They want you in a make-believe world. They want you and I in a make-believe world while they're running us. The World Economic Forum. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Check out the Agenda 21. You don't believe me. You guys need to start doing your own studying. This is real. Okay? The whole thing is, man, they want us with our head in the sand. And they're going to get rid of the weak. This is what happens in communism. They get rid of the weak. This is all coming. Also, the World Health Organization. This is one of the outsiders. Biden just signed a treaty. Trump got us out of it. By the time Trump gets in to get us out, I just did a show the other day on what would happen if Donald Trump, when he gets elected, the mess that they're creating for him. Okay? This is real, folks. The United Nations. We have not had a Congress vote on a war since World War II in the 40s. That's almost 80 years. Tell me if I'm wrong. Have we had to ever voted for Congress to go to war? Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, Libya, Venezuela? No. So the question is, will we even know our country in 2 years? And that is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Will we even know our country in 2 years? A lot of us now are awakening. Families are coming together now. And people are now talking more because this tidal wave is come upon us. I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago who was a teacher, and she saw all this stuff about how to talk to the kids and everything. She saw it coming even then. She saw it coming. That she was a teacher for 30 years. And one of the things that she enjoyed the most was teaching. But she had to watch every word that she said. And the last straw was when a kid came up to her and said, she goes, "Hello, Kevin." I said, "Yes, my name is Kevin, but I want to be called Karen." Okay. And she got a phone call from the father who said, "My son's having some identification issues. I do not want you to call him Karen. I want you to call him Kevin." And she had to tell him, "I can't do that. By law, I have to change, call him, her, Karen." And that's when she realized the parents have had their children stolen. It was time for her to get out. And it's gotten worse since. And, I was talking to my mechanic today, and he has children at 13 and 14. Whoa, what a tough age. And I asked him, "How are you doing with this?" He goes, "I talk to my kids all the time. I'm always talking to my kids. I sit them down and I've talked to them and I tell them the truth. I tell them the truth. I don't wait until they hear it on the playground. I don't wait until the teacher makes a decision about how they should think. I talk to my own kids, and that is a good parent." So will we even know our country in 2 years? You want to know what my prediction is? No. And that's why, if we don't change it, by the ones who, it's not that the ones that are passive, but the ones who've been just living their life, letting these few woke dictate the new. We can't let that happen. Otherwise, we won't even know our country in 2 years. Now, I want to thank everyone who stuck in there till the end. I know it's a long show here, but there's a whole lot of information. Listen, I'm also on TikTok, so Alpough, TikTok at Alpough Show. I'm also on Twitter at Alpough Show. I'm also on Twitch, Comment Alpough. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Rumble. So you can get me anywhere under Alpough Show, basically, okay? If you're out and about. But I am on Rumble, and I'm also starting a website because the day's coming where they'll be censoring me and I won't be able to speak my truth. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's what I want you to do. So much love. All those coming in later, please, there's some more videos here, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 Pacific time and 9 Pacific